Hello.
Might be a little graphic for people who are eating little kids.
It very well could be, perhaps we could move the kids, but I won't tell you to do that. But so the reason we show, oh, they're not yours. So the reason we,
I know what medical stuff looks like.
so the reason, I'll tell you the reason why we show it, because I know it's hard. And sometimes we look at it and we are like, I don't want to show this. Even I cry. Are you more bothered by this image, or are you more bothered by abortion itself? I'm
more bothered by children and people who are trying to eat being forced to look at graphic medical.
Well, I'm not forcing them to look at it, but I am.
You are by being here, though, and holding up a giant sign and waving it around. You're kind of forcing people to look.
No, I don't force anyone to look at anything. They choose to look at it or they don't.
Yes. How many kids have you guys adopted?
People always go to that, but so is evil evil, or is evil? Can we only talk about evil if we're doing something specific like adopting children, or can we still say, hey, murdering children is evil, and I don't have to adopt children to stand against that?
Well, I wasn't really going there. I was just kind of saying you guys are bringing up a problem with no solution, huh? Yeah.
Well, yeah. So the solution is don't murder preborn children. That's the solution.
Okay, I haven't done any of that.
No, that's good.
And
but
these kids haven't done that.
That's good, and we would say we're advocating that in the culture we live in, which is all for abortion. We need to.
Just two men here.
Well, men can stand up against evil, and it's an issue of morality. It's not an issue of male and female.
I don't believe it's true. I think you should keep your hands off women's bodies. I think it's a woman's choice.
Yeah. What if in the womb is a woman? Keep your hands off her body.
Let's say she has another child.
It's cute, but it's true.
Let's say she has heart failure. Let's say she has another 4-year-old, but she's pregnant, but she has some other disease causing her heart not to work. Do you think she should keep that baby and die versus aborting the baby?
Yeah, so
live and take care of the other child?
So as a medical professional, you know that there are two patients that we have. We have a baby and we have a mother. And doctors and nurses have a responsibility
Did you know that a doctor died down in Georgia because she was pregnant and they wouldn't give her a DNC? And she died.
I don't believe that happened. I'd love for you to send that to me. Let me know. But it's illegal. So it's not illegal to get an abortion anywhere. In not a single state is it illegal.
In Georgia, the doctors will not touch you unless they know for sure that you're going to die.
Okay, I'd be interested to hear about it, more about it.
It's true, because they have all the laws against abortion there.
Okay, so should we have laws that protect the preborn children, or should we not have laws that protect them?
You should have laws protecting women to have control of their own body.
No, because you're ignoring the complete fact that it is a body in the woman. It's not the woman's body. There's two bodies: a woman's body, or the mother's body.
What's your solution when, like I said, a woman comes in, she has a 4-year-old at home, she's diagnosed with, let's say, heart failure caused by another disease which she thought was cured.
Sure.
And she's going to die.
Sure.
If she doesn't abort the baby.
So, in this scenario, why is the baby causing the death?
It's too much stress on the heart.
Okay, so the baby's presence is causing too much stress on the heart.
Correct.
If the baby remains, then the woman will die.
She will die.
Okay, so how in this scenario, how far along is the baby?
Let's say 16, 17 weeks.
Okay, so too early typically to pull out.
Right.
However, so we have two patients.
Yep.
And
so what's your non-medical thought?
We hope and we watch. The doctors need to be very careful about this. We need to protect this woman because she is in a very critical situation, it sounds like. So they need to be doctors. They need to not take life. They need to do no harm, but they need to watch. She might need to stay in the hospital. She might need to...
1 second, by the way, what is this? Are you recording this?
Yes, this is a body camera, mostly for our protection. It's
illegal to record.
You are completely incorrect. You are completely
without consent.
You are completely incorrect. But so back to the scenario.
Okay, you're not gonna.
We would have to watch the woman.
Okay, I'm just gonna say this. I have 5 children.
Okay, so
You're
interrupting.
Woman what to do.
You're interrupting this conversation now.
She's my wife.
Okay.
She's my wife.
Very good.
No freaking business to impose your ideology on everyone passing by.
Oh, but you're imposing. Oh, you're imposing your ideology
You shut
on me
up
right
my
now.
face.
I'm saying a message, and you're saying another message, which is don't share your message. Just shut up. That's your ideology. So you shouldn't be imposing that on
You see me standing here and advocating for abortion?
Yeah.
Well, right now I hear
Well,
it.
I'm not holding a poster, sharing it with everyone, am I?
You are
It's
not.
my personal business. It doesn't concern
Yeah.
you.
Okay, so
Therefore, my personal business shouldn't concern you.
if
Right?
should I stand here and say women should not be
You
raped?
shouldn't be standing here, period, with a message
Should I
like
stand
that.
here and say women should not be raped?
What does this has anything to do
The
with
reason
what
is
we're
you
talking
say it's your personal truth, it's your personal truth. What I'm proposing is there's absolute truth
about?
in the
I tried
world.
to carry a baby in your belly for 9 months, and then we had a conversation.
Yes, my
That's
wife.
their business, leave them alone.
Okay, so my wife is also a doctor, and so to answer your
I'm a
question, I
doctor
would.
too.
We have to watch her.
You are? Have you ever performed an abortion?
So the problem is it's a slippery slope. Doctors are letting people. You should go online. You should.
Let's go.
What do you think about equal justice for all human beings?
Okay.
I hope you think about it.
I thought about it.
Hope you think more because you've ended up on the wrong conclusion.
No.
I'm not sure what kind of nurse you are, but I know you care for people. You just need to extend that care a little bit further to the preborn human beings. Be safe.
In a lot of states, healthcare people are leaving, and there's going to be a big crisis.
Yeah, there's a very much shortage of healthcare professionals, I agree.
Yeah, because they don't want to lose their licenses.
Yeah, and I don't want them murdering children. So it's kind of, there's definitely a balance, and we gotta find it. But absolutely, we can't remain to allow it to be legal. We have to recognize that even preborn children are human beings, and if human beings have rights such as life, the right to life, then they also have those rights. And we currently live in a nation that does not recognize their rights.
I had to walk by these scumbags.
I couldn't help myself.
But I can't.
Oh, that's very rude,
There
ma'am.
will always be female physicians, women physicians
Yes.
like myself, happy to give anybody an abortion.
Yes, and that
I
is
feel
murder.
that every time I see these
That is
ads.
murder.
I do 6 more.
No.
What about the lives of this baby?
I'm an abortion provider.
Oh, I'm so
because I saw
sorry.
you today, I will do 6 more free abortions.
Okay,
I
so
hope and pray
let
that
me,
your heart is
You could be
changed.
feeding
Let me give you
children.
this. Your
heart
could
would be
feeding
changed. We
people,
do
you could
feed
be clothing
children.
people, and you're going to stand here and waste your time. You are going to hell. You're horrible people.
No, you're going
And
to hell
I,
as
for the
you
rest of my
remain
life,
as you are. Because your heart is hard
God
towards.
loves me, and I
No,
will
he
take care of
doesn't.
people. Oh,
The
yes,
Lord-
He does. God doesn't
You-
know
you
that.
murder
you
people.
want to murder. You murder human beings. You murder human beings. God hated Esau.
Could be my God.
God hated Esau.
And I get to provide abortion for people with.
And I hope that
there
you
is
repent of your
forgiveness
sin.
through Jesus
Free
Christ.
abortion just because you were here.
There's forgiveness
You'll stand
through
before
Jesus
God
Christ.
someday.
You were here.
You'll stand
You can be
before God.
forgiven by Jesus Christ's death on the cross if you come to believe that He died for your sins.
Feeding people, you can be clothing people. You are here spreading hate.
And you could
You
not
are.
you could not be killing people, but you're choosing to murder someone who can't defend themselves, someone who can't scream, "No, stop killing me, stop killing me."
Yep.
You'll never hear that.
Amen. Sorry, John. I had to jump in.
That's okay. Hello. Hi, we're Christian abolitionists. We're just here to talk about protecting preborn children, not murdering them in the womb through abortion. Do you have any thoughts?
Oh, it's a touchy subject, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I personally grew up still a practicing Roman Catholic,
Yeah.
so I personally am pro-life.
Yeah.
And at 19 years old, I unexpectedly became pregnant, and I ended up giving up my daughter for adoption.
Wow,
Yeah,
that
well-
must be so hard.
I'm so thankful you chose that
I chose
route.
that route.
And
It's a slippery slope. You know what I mean? I'm not for abortion, but I'm actually like, what's going on with these state laws kind of like freaks me out because there's women that have lost their lives, right? Married women, right, that are pregnant, and the state doesn't allow them to do
That's a myth.
a late term abortion because they don't die. Right? There's so
I've heard that before. I'm always presented that, and
there's different laws in states, and I know like there's a lot of doctors that won't do things because of that. So I think that there's some cases that it is kind of scary. So
yeah, I think we need to be particular about the laws that we push forward.
Particular, right?
Sure,
There's
yeah,
doctors that are just saying I'm not doing that, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
You know, and so there are, you know, but I also feel there's women that also use it as a form of just
Contraception. Yeah. So we would actually take the position that always it's absolutely wrong, because we believe that God is our creator and
Right.
all of us are created in the image of God,
Yes.
even those in the womb. And so any way that you, with malice and forethought, kill it,
Yeah.
that's murder. And so you mentioned you were pro-life, is that right? So we're actually abolitionists, and so we call for the complete abolishment of abortion in the law. So the law should say this is illegal, just like it says slavery is illegal or murder is illegal. And the reason we would not be with pro-life, and we really are against the pro-life organization, is because when abolitionist bills get presented in states, pro-life is the one who shuts it down. Because pro-life is more about regulating it and controlling it, and we're here to say that it's absolutely wrong, so we should abolish it, not regulate it, get rid of it. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know. That's tough.
Yeah.
It's like, right, should this even be a federal or a state topic, right?
Yeah, I think it should be.
But
So
at the-
federally,
but
what
I feel
is
like who's protecting the fetus too, right?
correct? Yeah, and they can't talk for themselves. They
No.
can't defend
I mean,
themselves.
I personally feel like, you know, it's. I always tell people it obviously, it's, for me, inception is life, right? It's
Yes.
not going to grow up to be a cat, dog, a
Yeah.
gerbil, right? It's going to be a human.
Yep, living
Yeah.
things are made of cells, and
Yes.
anything with a cell is a living
Right,
thing in some capacity.
Yeah.
So what kind of life is it? To your point,
Yeah,
it's a human life. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So it's hard, but I mean, in this state, oh, that's not going to work.
Well, we can pray to God, we can trust in Him and
Yeah,
His.
we can.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can.
So I hope you'll consider the abolitionist position.
Well, I'm going to read more about you.
Okay,
Yeah,
sounds
I
good.
can do that.
And so the organization that we're a part of is Connecticut Foundation to Abolish Abortion. And so yeah, look it up and
Oh, okay.
appreciate the conversation. And
Okay. Thank you.
yeah, awesome. God bless.
Thank you.
Remember, it's Jesus who died for our sins, and yes, He did. Amen.
You don't agree? Why not, sir? Let's talk about it.
No, okay.
Are you not able to? Let's see if you could hold down.
Cool with Greg, okay.
Hello. Thanks
How
for
are
coming
you?
back.
Yeah, sure.
So, what are your thoughts?
So what happens if a woman is sick and is talked to a doctor and says they cannot keep it, if your life is at risk?
Okay, so we were actually just talking about that because someone else presented the same idea. So we believe that that doesn't actually happen, but I'm going to go with your hypothetical and say it's true. So we have two patients. We have the baby, and then we have the mother. Doctors need to be very specific about treating both equally and honestly, faithfully. And when it gets to the point, let's say it's 19 weeks, is the baby still too early to like separate and give birth through our, like, I think the earliest baby was 23 weeks old, delivered by now. So let's say she's 19 weeks, she's dying. So like the doctors are watching, she's actively dying. At that point in time, the doctors need to separate the child from the mother, not kill it, don't abort it, separate, pray and take care of the mother, have a team for her, take care of the baby, try to see if it'll live. Odds are it will not, but we can hope for a medical miracle.
So there are a lot of situations where mothers physically want to have babies.
Yes.
Most of the time they want to, and
Yes.
it is a terrible thing that they don't want to let rid of their baby.
That's true.
And it is a unfortunate situation where sometimes they're not viable.
Yep.
Babies have died in mothers' wombs,
Correct.
and that has been something that they have to abort that child already. That is considered an abortion.
Correct. There are, I
A
think,
dead
4.
child? Is that what you're saying?
Already has passed, and the mother has to at some point keep it.
I don't think that's true.
It's medically considered an abortion. There's like 4 or 6 kinds of abortions.
Oh, interesting.
And miscarriage is one of them. Correct.
So it's a dead child.
Dead child.
And they're removing the remains.
That's the removal of a dead child.
It is still
it's not alive.
considered an abortion.
Correct. And I think we need to be able to talk about this. Obviously, what we're talking about.
To make it more specific, I think I understand that you would like to keep this piece of it, but I think that when you are not allowing for this opportunity, that some things are not a choice. There is incest, there's rape, and I understand it's a gift that you have seen, this gift from God. However, there is trauma. There's a significant number of people that are in really unhealthy situations, especially with foster homes and things like that. I think those things need to take care of first. Also, sex education needs to be taught more often. Is it something that you guys are working on in some way or advocating for?
Sex education. I'm not so sure that people don't know where children come from.
There is an issue that many people don't. If you talk to a lot of nurses,
so I wonder,
especially in the Mormon community, there's an issue where people are literally coming in with bruising on their stomachs because they think that babies are had through the belly button. So it is.
So do you think we've had in the past 50? I don't know how many years. Do you think we have more sex education or less sex education?
I think we are starting to lose it in certain areas, especially in southern communities.
Okay.
It's still a big issue. If you want to teach advocates at some point.
So you would say we've decreased in the last 50.
I think we have in some areas. Yes.
Interesting. I would say I think we've increased.
I think in certain areas we have.
And then what we'd have to compare that education aspect to is, okay, are abortions decreasing? And abortions are increasing. They're not decreasing.
I think the access to abortion has been increasing in certain areas, and obviously it has been going down in many areas. But I think it's something that sex education needs to be chosen, especially in a lot of rural communities, especially in a lot of city communities where they don't have access to things like birth control. And I'm assuming you're looking for birth control as more of an option as well.
Birth control as an option?
IUD access or access to birth control pills, things like that?
No, I mean, we're not here to talk about contraceptives.
Something I think that would be good for you to also talk about, as it is something that will prevent. Prevent matters like this.
So I'm with you. I'm with the education. I'm not sure I value it as much as you do. But you also mentioned incest and rape and that they don't have choice. I would say even in those cases, what we have is a human being, and they have rights just as you and I have rights, and so we can't murder them.
Who is 12?
Yeah, a 12-year-old has been
children have been abused, have been having children before at that young age, so you're not valuing that child.
So why not go for 11? Why, people always do this, 14-year-old, 13-year-old. Why not go for 11, 10?
I can't.
Yeah.
Go lower. However, there are situations where they are valued people too.
Yeah.
I would definitely. To support. I agree that it is not great to just get rid of a child.
It's murder, I would say.
I understand where you're coming from, but at the same time, I think if we just diminish the fact that there is children who are 12 having babies because they can't get access to abortion, it's just something we have to consider with that as well.
Okay, so a 12-year-old is raped, possibly by the father. It could even be a case of incest. What we have there is still a human being in the womb. We also have a child who is carrying the human being. She needs love. She needs support. No abortion will unrape her. No abortion will decrease the trauma she's had. It will only increase it. And then when she's 18, 20, she's going to know, I killed my first child. I didn't choose to have that child, but it was my child, and I killed them.
I fully understand that.
So I think they need to be supported. They should never be told to kill this thing.
I think there definitely needs to be support. I think that it's still a situation where there is a child that is
two children. That's two children. Yeah.
I agree. Yeah. I agree. But I think it's something that education needs to be had. That child needs to have the ability to live her life as well and not carry a child for 9 months.
But the child already exists, and
in some ways, I think
very unfortunate.
But I think it is something that needs to be considered. That you're not taking away the life of a second, the main child that
you're not taking the life away. She'll have a different life than perhaps her trajectory was going. Very different. She'll be 30, and her child will be 18. It'll be very different.
It's not great.
But it's not okay to murder the child just because.
So obviously I believe that sex education is a big piece of it because kids don't always know how kids happen.
Yeah.
It is a thing happening in America where, like I said, the Mormon individuals often come in with bruises on their belly. That is a problem. You know, whether or not it's something you'll want to laugh at, it is.
Oh, I'm not laughing. I'm not. Yeah.
I'm saying it's a funny thing.
Oh, I get you. Yes, it's funny. Yes, correct.
But I think a lot of times education is very important because it can prevent things like unwanted pregnancies and not prepared when you're 16 and do something stupid or silly. You know, it is something that is very important so people understand.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Why do you believe human beings have value and have rights?
Yeah.
Why do you believe that?
I believe
Where does
that
it come from?
everybody has their own individual ability to exist and individual ability to express themselves. I don't believe that a fetus has the brain capacity at this point to exist on their own, especially. So I think it's something that, as people like you and I, we can have these conversations. I don't think necessarily we're on the same page all the time, but I think that with a lot of this stuff, you have to respect that a mother is not wanting. It's a very emotional and difficult time. I don't think it's very common for women to want to get rid of their babies.
I think that's not true in this culture anymore. We come across people all the time where I'm.
But also, I want to say, you're not a woman. I'm sure you've seen women.
You're pulling out the classic arguments.
I'm not.
Yeah.
But I'm saying you're not a woman in this situation, but have you met women that have had abortions that were traumatized by it because they didn't want to be in those?
Oh yeah, I know women that have been severely traumatized by it.
They don't want to be in those circumstances. Abortions are not just a fun little thing you get on a weekend.
Nor should they be. They shouldn't be because they result in the murder of a child.
But it's still
we have to recognize
how it affects those women.
It would. If I ever murdered,
you feel like you're fighting for them.
Yeah.
But at the same time, women that are getting those abortions, they don't want them. If they are that traumatized, they don't want them.
We need to protect unwanted people as well. Even if the child is, even a child born of rape, even a child who's so unwanted, they're just ugly in the eyes of their own parents, we need to protect them as well.
I think you have to do a little bit more pushing for also, like I said, sex education, pushing for more birth control options.
I think those are good, but we have to at least start here. There's an evil happening.
Preventing it from even being an opportunity.
No, we need to, on the laws, we need to abolish abortion. It needs to be completely eradicated. And then the law, to your point, would serve as an educator. For example, it is an educator.
There's a lot of laws that are harming people. Sometimes, there's a reason why we have amendments.
Yeah, so if it was illegal to get an abortion, a woman would have to take that in consideration and be like, I know if I pursue an abortion, there will be charges against me. I will be pursuing something illegal in my country. Now they have just an extra educator on top of it.
You know about things like Amber Thurman and how she lost her life unnecessarily because she couldn't get access to an abortion?
No, I don't.
There's a lot of women, I recommend you looking into them. They are active cases and situations where women were trying to get access because their doctors had told them about it because she was dying. She did die unnecessarily because she couldn't get access to it because the child was harming her. So I understand that there's a situation where if there's a situation where you can separate the mother from that child, okay.
Well, you should always do that.
I fully agree. That is what I feel like should be an option. But I feel like at the same time, you have to consider that the women is the important piece right now. At some point, if they can, you want to keep them around. So they
woman
can
has
have more children.
equal opportunity, equal protection, equal justice for both the mother and the child. So the mother is very important. I'm totally with you there. Protect her, keep her safe. Protect the child, keep the child safe. The child might be a woman, the child might be a man, who knows? So we have to protect them. The law is an educator. It is. I know not to jaywalk because there's laws, but sometimes I choose to do it.
In New York, they just got rid of that law. A lot of laws change.
Yeah.
So things happen. Laws change, the times change, things change. I think.
But rape is always evil. Cannibalism is always evil. Looking at slavery is always evil. In the case of like American slavery, how we had it, murder is always evil.
I just think there has to be more things to prevent getting to that point, so that you don't even have to ask about these things anymore. You don't have to bring it up anymore. So like I said, I think I'm going to step away at this point.
Okay, one more question.
Go ahead.
is abortion murder. I've been saying it. I'm wondering if
if it's something that is happening unnecessarily,
yeah,
I agree, but I don't think we're seeing at the same level of what's unnecessary and what's necessary. We had said something earlier where you don't feel like there are women that are needing to get an abortion for their safety.
I think it's very propagandized and it's over. But I accept it very well could happen.
We're also looking at very different points of view where I'm seeing news of women that are actually dying, and I'm seeing the people that are in her life story, and you're seeing it from a different point of view of the area you're around. I think there's opportunity where we can meet in the middle. Like I said, I don't think somebody should just like, if I'm 9 months pregnant, fucking get rid of this baby. But I think there
does happen.
You know
but
what?
not
I'm not
it's
saying that one I'm not saying is an often thing.
Yeah.
I think that it's something though.
Me either. Yeah.
I would like that. I want to believe that you guys are on the right side of trying to think of what you think is best for things. I do think though that it needs to be prevented before it even happens, before there's an opportunity.
Sure, I would love that as well.
If people are, getting rid of, people that should be in prison because they are, harm people in the past, they should be getting some sort of, rehabilitation program, things like that. IUDs need to be accessible for people.
As long as IUEDs don't cause an abortion, I am also with that.
It's preventing that even an opportunity happens. I think that one thing you guys really should start pushing is birth control options. Getting access, typically in urban communities where people don't have the funds all the time or the access to even insurance, finding ways to do that. I think that's the first step you guys really need to take. And then I think the opportunity to talk about it.
Okay, and the last thing, there is forgiveness through Jesus Christ. There is forgiveness through Jesus Christ. We've all fallen short. You can walk, walk safely. But I'll just preach. We've all fallen short, and He provided a way to heaven. What was your name? John. Gotta talk to the police first, so I will call you back.
Yeah, if you got
nothing happened.
How you doing?
They always get called on us.
Good.
All right,
What's going on, man?
I'll call you right back.
Is that one of those cool 360 cameras?
Yeah. If you need to take off.
No, I'm good just for now, but I'll be taking off, but go ahead.
So obviously, as you just said there, right, we got a phone call, you guys are out here. Obviously, you guys know it's your First Amendment right to be out here.
Yep.
The only thing that's questioned that came in on the phone call is the photo you guys got up on the tree.
A what?
A little bit, the photo that's on the
Yeah, it's
tree.
okay. It's First Amendment protected.
So,
it's sad that many people are more offended by a picture than what caused the picture.
Yeah, well,
so
I'm not going to get into a political or theological.
No, I appreciate that. Thank you for protecting our rights. I really do appreciate that.
So that's what we're.
Yeah, you guys are all right.
Just so you guys know, that's what
Yep.
about.
Yep.
So just kind of be mindful of that, right?
Yeah, no worries.
Kids and stuff, adults, you guys are doing what you're supposed to do.
Thank you, officers.
Cameras in the street, right? So
Yep.
move this way a little bit, so I don't have to do anything with that.
All right, officers.
So what time you guys plan on being out here?
I'm leaving right now.
Taking off. I'll be here for a little while longer.
Cool. All right, I'll have an officer coming by here and there.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. All right, guys.
Thank you.
take
Appreciate
care.
it.
Appreciate it.
Good standing with you, as always, brother.
Yeah, God bless you.